Started today to talk to you all about river cruising. And I see that you have my slide up there, and I just have to talk about it before I go to the next slide. So up in the far left corner is a gold suite on our new SS La Benicia, our brand new ship in Venice. It was designed by the House of Fortuny, which is very high style. That just is an example of the luxury travel that you will get with Uniworld. So let's get going. All right, at Uniworld, we talk about living your best life, that you deserve the best. It's really, river cruising is absolutely the best way to cruise, and the best and most luxurious river cruise is Uniworld. With Uniworld, we are the world's best and most awarded luxury river cruise line in the business. We are the most all-inclusive, and I'll go over that in a little bit. We have outstanding service, which comes from the heart. And if you guys didn't know this, we're part of TravCorp, like Jim had mentioned, and TravCorp is the holding company. Under TravCorp is Uniworld, Red Carnation Hotels. If you don't know Red Carnation Hotels, every time you look at a picture of Buckingham Palace, the hotel across the street is the Rubens, and that is a Red Carnation Hotel. They're boutique, lovely luxury hotels, about 20 of them located around the world. And that's what I want to say about our ships. We've designed our ships after those floating boutique hotels, Red Carnation. They're just amazing. And when we talk about service, our service truly comes from the heart. No request is too large, no details too small, the same as you would get at a Red Carnation hotel. All of our ships are one of a kind, award winning. Each ship is meticulously decorated. And if you don't know this, the Tolman family, because we're privately owned by a family named Tolman, the Tolmans keep their private art collection on board our ships. So it's not uncommon to stand next to a Van Gogh, a Picasso, an Andy Warhol, a Matisse. It's just amazing. And for those of you who like really good food, well, all of our food is delicious farm to table cuisine. It's world class. Matter of fact, B. Tolman, our owner, wrote a cookbook called A Life in Food. And a lot of the restaurants that we have on board our ship serve B. Tolman's food. She was on New York's 100 bestseller list. And the food is simply outstanding. No GMO, no preservatives, um, it's all locally sourced, no frozen food. You'll never see a frozen Cisco meat truck in front of one of our ships. It's all fresh, fresh, fresh. Locally sourced within 50 to 100 miles of where we cruise. Also, you get a choice of carefully curated experiences, meaning your shore excursions. We offer many shore excursions every single day, and they're all complimentary. So let's just talk about what is really included in an all-inclusive cruise fare. Well, first of all, you're going to get impeccable service from one of the highest staff to guest ratios in the business. All your gratuities are included on board. So your maitre d', your cabin steward, your waiter, or those great people at the front desk that help you every single day with whatever you need. That's all complimentary on Uniworld. And your gratuities are included. Your scheduled round trip airport transfers. So if you are flying in the day of embarkation and flying out the day of disembarkation, your airport transfers are included, whether you buy air from us or you buy air from Travel Wizards, or you're using your complimentary United Airlines Mileage Plus program. Your airport transfers are included with Uniworld. Butler service. If you get a suite, you get a butler. 24-hour room service. So if you're jonesing for French fries at 2 in the morning, we'll be happy to just ring us up and we'll be happy to offer you room service. We also have concierge services on board for those people who may realize, gosh, I'm in Paris. I have an Aunt Ruby that lives in Paris. I want to go see my Aunt Ruby. We'll arrange that for you. No extra fees. We'll call an Uber or a Lyft for you, no problem, or a private car. Delicious cuisine, like I mentioned before, all of our food is farm to table, locally sourced within 50 to 100 miles of where we cruise. Unlimited beverages, that's right, including premium spirits. If you want Grey Goose vodka or Kettle One, not a problem with Uniworld. All of our beer and regional wines. We serve you wine in the region you're traveling through. So an example is when you're in Paris or the southern part of France. Some of the best red wines in the world are in the southern part of France, and we're serving those wines to you on board our ships. A choice of enticing shore excursions. You can have two, three, four different ones to choose from every day. Sometimes you can even get one or two shore excursions done in one day. We also have onboard fitness centers. We know that health is important and fitness is important to our customers. That's why we have state-of-the-art local, we have state-of-the-art fitness equipment on board our ships. And we also have yoga classes and wellness classes and complimentary bikes on board our ships. Even the Nordic walking sticks, we have those on board our ships, all complimentary. Wi-Fi. Some cruise lines, they charge 10, 15, $20 a day just for Wi-Fi, but not with Uniworld. No matter where you go on our ship, Wi-Fi is included, whether it's your stateroom or you go to the lounge or the dining room, or you're just up on the top deck enjoying the view, complimentary Wi-Fi. Also, local entertainment. I know everybody's got entertainment, but at Uniworld, we have duos and trios and singles, and we have local entertainment that will come on board the ship. And we also have signature lectures. And what do I mean by that? The day before we go to a port, we have a signature lecture right before dinner time, which will talk about where we're going to go the rest of the week so you can decide what shore excursion to choose from. So I told you that our ships are like floating boutique hotels. Here's just an example. Here's one of our beautiful suites. Each ship is truly inspired by the rivers that we cruise upon, with distinctive themes and colors and palettes. Matter of fact, the beds are all Savoir from England. They're high thread count Egyptian cotton. They're very comfortable. You get a pillow menu. If you want a soft pillow, a firm pillow, a hyperallergenic pillow, or one of each kind every night, it's not a problem with Uniworld. Outstanding service. I love this slide, you guys, because look at the captain on the left. He's been with us for over 30 years. Well, a long time ago when his son was just a little guy, he worked with his dad in the engine room. And as you can look, the second person to the right, that young man with a big smile on his face, well, that's his son. You can tell that that's his son by their smile. And he is also the captain of his own ship now with Uniworld. So with Uniworld, service truly comes from the heart, and we treat our staff with like their family, and they love working for Uniworld, and they're very pleased to be there. And it just is a testament to how well they're treated. Unlimited pours. Here's an example of the bar. If you want that Kettle One or Grey Goose, not a problem with Uniworld. It's unlimited pours. It's not just with meals. It's any time of day. Farm to table cuisine. There's the chef. When you go to Europe, you know how we have our farmers markets on the weekends on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Well, in Europe, they're every single day. And it's not uncommon to see our chef off the ship at a local farmers market actually purchasing the produce that they're going to have that evening for dinner. Exclusive experiences. Let's just talk a little bit about our shore excursions. Here's an example of, in the south of France, we go to Arles, and in Arles, they've been producing this wonderful petite Syrah for years, thousands of years. As a matter of fact, you get off the ship, you go into a vineyard, and you get to meet the vintner, and they tell you all about why this climate is so perfect for the wines they've been producing for thousands of years. And then you get back on board the ship, and they're serving you that wonderful wine you just had a sample of during your vineyard tour. Here's a couple of other examples of exclusive experiences, and I like to call our shore excursions ungoogleable. Our shore excursions are very immersive. They put you in the region you're traveling through. An example, we have one in Amsterdam, one of the most popular first-time river cruises. And for those of you who are on the line right now and you've never river cruised before, one of the most popular first-time river cruises is called Castles Along the Rhine, where you go down the Rhine River in Germany and you get to visit all these beautiful castles. Well, when you're doing this itinerary, you end up in Amsterdam or start in Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, we have a fabulous museum, a Van Gogh museum, L'Ermitage. There's hundreds of people usually waiting in line to get in, but not with Uniworld. With Uniworld, it's open to Uniworld guests only. We call it Morning with the Masters. The public is wanting to get in, but they can't because it's only for Uniworld guests. You get to go behind those velvet ropes and talk with the curator and have that one-on-one conversation that you normally can't have in a public situation. Or if you look down here, that big golf course, that's in Paris. That's called Etriat. And that takes 3 to 4 months to get into tea times, but not with Uniworld. When you go on our beautiful Paris itinerary on the beautiful Joie de Vivre, and this is the Joie de Vivre behind me. This is the lounge. Those are beautiful fresh flowers, red roses every day. We get you golf tees at golfing time at Triat. Every one of our Uniworld guests who wants to golf there, and that's a complimentary shore excursion. Murano Island. I mentioned that we go to Venice. We're the only river cruise line who cruises the Venetian Lagoon. We cruise also up the Po River, but I like to call it a Grand Canal experience. I just love that. That's one of my favorite itineraries. We have a brand new ship there called the SS La Venetia. And now we used to just hang out in the lagoon all week, but now we actually spend the night at Burano Island. So you can get off the ship at night and act like a local and go to the local pubs. Burano Island is up here to the right. It's where all those colorful homes are, the oranges and the yellows and the pinks. They're just beautiful. Or the landing beaches and cemeteries in Normandy Beach. You know, Utah Beach, Normandy Beach, where D-Day happened, and visit the cemeteries up there as well. I got to look up an uncle that was killed on D-Day, and his grave is at Normandy Beach. And I got to see his grave site, and I took a photo of it and sent it to my aunt who was 96 years old, and she never, ever, ever been to France and got to see her husband's grave. So she was very touched by that. Or when you go to Bordeaux, we have a beautiful Bordeaux itinerary that we go to a museum called Le Côte du Vin. Le Côte du Vin is a modern museum of how they make wine all around the world, is located in Bordeaux. And every one of our Uniworld guests has a complimentary ticket to go to Le Côte du Vin. It's truly an amazing experience. I could have spent 2, 3 days there, but I only spent one, but it's a beautiful, beautiful itinerary, and that ship is gorgeous. It's the SS Bon Voyage. It's very yacht-like with that high varnished wood, Italian wood. It's just beautiful. So I told you we're the most awarded river cruise line in the business. I just wanted to show you some of the awards: Travel and Leisure, or Cruise Critic, or the Magellan Awards, or the Globe Winners Awards, or the Platinum Awards. We're the most awarded cruise line in the business. So where do we go? Well, we do every river in Europe. We do the Rhine, the Rhone, the Seine, the Saône, and now we do Spain, Portugal, and the Douro River. That's a very hot destination. We have a brand new ship there that I'll be talking to you about in a little bit. And then we also have some exotics, you guys. We have China, the Yangtze River. We have Vietnam. That's a beautiful itinerary with a gorgeous ship that's brand new this year. It was supposed to be brand new last year, but everybody knows what happened, right? And so we have a brand new ship that's only 62 passengers for our Vietnam itinerary. We go to India. We do the Ganges River. We're the only river cruise line who does that at this time. We also go to Egypt. We have 2 ships in Egypt now. We have the SS Sphinx. She's brand new. And then we have the River Tosca, which is an all-suite ship. That's on my bucket list. I would love to do Egypt, but it's always sold out with Uniworld, so I never get a chance to go because it's going to the public. And Peru, we have an exotic this year in Peru where we spend 2 nights in Machu Picchu. So we're very excited about our exotics. So I mentioned to you there was some new ships. So let's just go over that a little bit. The Mekong Jewel is in Vietnam and Cambodia. It really debuted last January. She did go out on 1 sailing, but that was it. And then, you know, COVID hit. And then we have a brand new ship in Portugal, which is called Spain, Portugal, in the Douro River Valley. That's the SS São Gabriel. SS before the names of our ship stands for super ship. Super ship La Venezia. We have a new ship in Italy. It is just gorgeous. And then in Egypt, we have that brand new ship in Egypt called the SS Sphinx. And then just to give you an example, like here's the Spain, Portugal, and Douro River suite. That's a suite. It's the decor on all of our ships is just outstanding. So we have some new itineraries. Every couple of years, we put some new itineraries together, and I'm really excited to talk to you about something that Uniworld customers just love. It's they like train packages along with their river cruise. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. But we also have a classic Germany and Amsterdam itinerary that's going to be starting this year. The Rhine, Main, and Danube Discovery. And then I already mentioned the Peruvian Amazon and Machu Picchu. And by the way, that ship is only 32 passengers. It's just amazing. So take a look at that. So here's that new itinerary that I was talking about. It's called Rhine, Moselle, and Blissful Baden-Baden. It's a 12-day itinerary on our beautiful River Queen, and it visits Baden-Baden. If you don't know what Baden-Baden is, it's a location in Europe that has been doing spas for over 2,000 years. So you'll have an opportunity to see the Caracalla Spa and Resort or the Sea Salt Grotto. So take a peek at that. We also have the Peruvian Amazon and Machu Picchu exploration I mentioned. And then we also, I'm really excited to talk to you about our new cruise and rail itineraries. Now, the cruise and rail itineraries are 100% exclusive to Uniworld. And let me just talk a little bit about that. We're going to introduce one for this year. It's the perfect pairing. These trains are just gorgeous. The same as those Uniworld ship, all luxury white glove service. It's called Golden Eagle Luxury Trains. We're the only company that is offering this. We bought the whole train out, so the train cars are exclusive just for Uniworld customers only. And we're very excited about it. The accommodations are very similar to Uniworld. On the left is a Uniworld suite, and on the right is one of the suites on the train. Because we do, so if you're trying to compare our floating boutique hotels with luxury hotel on wheels, then you're in for a great surprise because we offer that on our cruise rail programs. Dining, same thing. If you notice, the dining on our Uniworld ships are all farm to table, just like the dining that is taking place on our trains. Beautiful cars, white tablecloth service. So this year, we're going to introduce Milan, Venice, and the Swiss Alps. So we're going to offer it this year starting, and then we're going to run it again in 2022. And it includes 1 night in a hotel, 3 nights on the Golden Eagle train, and then 7 nights on the beautiful SS La Venezia. And the highlighted visits on board this is Vaduz, San Antone, Tyroleon, it's in the city of Innsbruck, and the medieval town of Linz in Austria, and a traditional boat ride in Lake Bled, and that's down here on the right. So for this year, we have departures on August 1, 4, 8, 11, and October 24 and 27. So they begin at around $11,000 a person. And for 2022, we're going to operate in July and August and September. So I wanted to just show you these dates down here a little bit, okay? And that is also the same price point. Milan, Venice, and Istanbul. So if you're not interested in the Swiss Alps, we're going to offer that Italian itinerary and then add Istanbul on the other end of that. I don't know about you. I've been to Istanbul a handful of times, and it's one of my favorites in the world. I was always reluctant the first time, but now that I've been there, I just love it. The food is outstanding. Venice to Istanbul includes 7 nights on our beautiful SS La Venezia, 6 nights on the train, and 1 night in a hotel. We have dates next year. This is starting in 2022 on July 10th, 18th, and 31st, and August 8th, 21, and 29. These programs start at around $19,000 per person, and that's for a 15-night itinerary. So we're also doing something really exciting, Dracula's Castle, the Enchanting Danube, and the Castles of Transylvania. And we're going to pair this with the beautiful SS Maria Theresa and the Golden Danube Express. So if you want us to see Dracula's Castle in Transylvania, this is a great one. The Castles of Transylvania will include 1 night in a hotel, 4 nights on the Golden Eagle luxury train, and 7 nights on the SS Maria Theresa. So you'll see the birthplace of Dracula and the medieval town of Breslau and the capital of Transylvania as well. The Castles of Transylvania will also have a pre and a post in case you wanted to stay a little longer and go to Budapest or Passau. So we do have a pre-cruise or a post-cruise program available. And then for next year, we're going to start running these programs in March, April, and then again in October. And so this brings me to what we're very excited about in 2022. This is the only rail-only program that's offered with Uniworld. It's called the Trans-Siberian Express, where you'll be able to take the Trans-Siberian Railway all the way through Russia. And this is on the beautiful Golden Eagle. And the highlights of this program are your 12 nights at the Golden Eagle and 2 nights in a hotel. So check that out. And we have dates running in July next year and August and a little bit into the first part of September. These programs are only 40 passengers per departure. And we have them on a wait list right now because they're not quite open for sale. They're going to be open for sale in about 2 weeks. And we're taking wait list. So for those of you who've wanted to do the Trans-Siberian Express, this is the way to do it, luxury. Generations collection. Okay, for all of you grandparents out there, we have something in the travel business we call skip gen travel. It's where you want to take and spend some time with your grandkids. You don't want to take your own kids, but you want to sort of bond with your own grandkids. So we have a program called the Generations Program. And they're about a dozen itineraries throughout the year where we have family on board, and there's programs specifically for kids. And these programs have family hosts, 2 dedicated hosts. So grandma and grandpa may do a regular shore excursion, and maybe the grandkids are on an excursion with one of the hosts on board. Jewish heritage. A lot of our programs, specifically the delightful Danube in Prague and the remarkable Rhine, those are 2 itineraries that we have Jewish heritage programs where the shore excursions are concentrated around Jewish-inspired architecture, Jewish-inspired synagogues or memorials, and they're complimentary. You don't have to take them if they are complimentary. For those of you who are traveling by yourself, we have reduced and waived single supplements for most all of 2021. And we also have a special cocktail party on board that the captain hosts for solo travelers. And Uniworld is one of those cruise lines that we really value our single travelers. We have many of them, and they feel very comfortable booking with Uniworld because we make them feel at home. So book and cruise with confidence. I know because we've all are just coming out of COVID, what are we doing on Uniworld that's a little bit different than everybody else? Well, we have something that we're using at Uniworld. It's a program where it's a sanitization where they put it on every surface of the ship, and we're doing that in our Red Carnation hotels. We're like the only river cruise line who's doing this. It's a very expensive process, but it's a toxic-free, it's 100% made up of saline, and it is self-disinfecting. And this is on all of our ships. And remember, our ships are smaller than our competitors, so it's really easy to keep them maintained and clean. And also, just to let you know that if for some reason your cruise was suspended because of all the things that have been going on, you are able to rebook, no problem, or We also have insurance programs that you can take that covers COVID as well, if you're concerned about that. And also, if we are suspending a cruise, we will reach out to you and give you a future travel credit, or we'll be happy to rebook. It's not a problem with Uniworld, and you can wait till up to 60 days prior to departure to change your mind. Wellness on the water. I think I talked to you a little bit about how we have great fitness classes on board our ship. We also on our super ships have these beautiful pools, which by the way has music underwater when you're swimming underwater. Now that's a luxury experience. And then we have daily yoga classes and TRX. I also wanted to show you a picture of what our bikes look like. They're very nice and state of the art. And we have those Nordic walking sticks too. The world's a big and beautiful place, and we want to keep it that way. We wanted to just share with you today that we give back to the communities that we serve. We belong to the Tread Right Foundation. We make sure that the areas that we travel through are preserved for future generations. The rivers and the waterways are preserved for future travelers, and we're very proud of that. We also have no single-use plastic products on any of our ship. No water bottles. They're all reusable water bottles. Even the little earbuds that you listen to your host on board the ship or your tour guide, well, normally they come in a little plastic bag. Not with Uniworld, they're in a little paper bag. So everything is, there's no single plastic use at all. And we're trying to get other cruise lines to do the same. It's a place where everybody is welcome. We're very LGBT friendly at Uniworld. We're embrace diversity. And we have an outstanding loyalty program. As a matter of fact, if you're a returning guest to Uniworld, we give you a welcome gift on board. We have an in-room fruit platter for you. You're invited to a members only cocktail party, and we'll even do the laundry for you once per sailing. So, and that's another thing I didn't mention and what's included. We have complimentary laundry on all of our ships. You're not shoving quarters or euros into a machine. It's all complimentary with Uniworld. And if you've been on Uniworld in the past, we'll do the laundry for you once per sailing. Now that's pretty nice. We also have, just in case you didn't know this, it only takes 5 cabins to make a group. And when you put a group together, there's special incentives and shipboard credits that you can get by booking a group. And you know, if you have 5 members of your family that all have spouses, you can put a little group together yourself. And so know that only takes 5 cabins to make a group. And that really is a great savings for you if you have 5 cabins. We have a program going on right now, a promo. It's called Cruise Back into Travel, with savings up to 30% off for 2021 voyages. We're very hopeful to be cruising in May, June for sure, July. We're really, we're very full, but at the same time, there is still some space left. And we also are hopeful for 3rd and 4th quarter. We're doing very well in Spain, Portugal, and the Douro River, as well as Egypt is a hot destination as well. And you can do that now by taking advantage, by contacting somebody at Travel Wizards, a travel advisor, and you can get up to 30% off. And that is combinable with your River Heritage Club, meaning if you have been a past passenger before, there's an additional savings, and that's combinable. And Travel Wizards, they're super preferred with us, and they get an amenity of a $150 per person shipboard credit. That's $300 if there's 2 of you traveling. That shipboard credit can be used towards any spa services or maybe a masterpiece collection. We do have a couple of excursions where there's a fee if you wanted to do that. Like, let's say when you go to Paris, we do offer going to the Moulin Rouge one night. Well, that's 280 US dollars. So you can use your shipboard credit to help offset that. So things like that, that's called Cruise Back into Travel. This expires at the end of March. So you have until the end of March to take advantage of this savings. Now, for 2022, we have something very exciting. So all those new cruise and rail programs I talked to you about, if you're willing to pay in full at the time of booking, we'll be happy to give you an additional 12% off. That's pretty good. Matter of fact, that's a huge savings. So if you're booking an itinerary that's, $10,000, that's an additional $1,200 off of that. So that's for 2022 itineraries. If you pay in full, we call it PIF, PIF. If you pay in full at time of booking, we'll be happy to give you an additional 12% off. So our parents taught us well. I talked to you a little bit about TravCorp, and I wanted to make sure that you knew where we were coming from. So on this slide, this is the Oyster Box, which is in South Africa. This is the Ashford Castle. This is also a Red Carnation hotel. These are pictures of Red Carnation hotels that are located around the world. There's 20 of them. And there's the Tolman family, the whole family right there. There's B. Tolman. And there's Stanley Tolman. B is 87, 88 years old, and Stanley's 91, and they're still very, very much operational in the family business. And as you can tell by looking at these beautiful Red Carnation hotels, that is how we've designed these beautiful Uniworld ships. We've been in business for over 100 years in the hospitality business, and we're the largest family-owned travel company in the world. I'm proud to work for the Tolman family. They have other products that you may have heard of. I mentioned Red Carnation Hotels, Insight Vacations, Luxury Gold, Trafalgar, Contiki. There's dozens of other travel programs. So with that, I really appreciate the time that you've given me today, and we value your partnership, and we thank you for all your support of Uniworld. And if you have any questions, go ahead and just pop them in the chat box, and I'll be happy to help out. Thank you very much. I'm Matthew Kohls. Hi, Jim.
Oh, Matthew, thank you very much for that wonderful presentation on Uniworld Cruising, and then, of course, your brand new trains that you're going to be doing. Now, is that the same train that's just going to be constantly traveling all over the place? Is that why there was just spotted dates and certain itineraries, or is there more than one train?
Well, no, that it is the same train, and we have taken that whole departure on those dates. There are other dates, but those dates that is 100% Uniworld departures, and it exclusively sold through Uniworld, because this is a program that's usually sold in Europe, and they don't sell to the US market, but we have managed to take the whole train on certain dates, and we're happy to offer them to our Uniworld customers. It's one of the feedbacks we've gotten from our customers.
Wow, well, that's fantastic. We're definitely looking forward to maybe myself even getting on one of those trains someday. I did notice that in some of the exotic places that you go, Southeast Asia, and Vietnam and Cambodia and stuff, visas are required there. Is that something that Uniworld can help with, or is that something that's on their own, or is it included in the package? How does that work?
Well, when you go to, let's say, Egypt, you can get a visa upon getting at the airport for $35, or you can take advantage of a service who will charge you a lot more. But we would direct you to a visa location if you want to do it prior to. But we do offer you that information that you don't really need to get a visa service unless you're not a US citizen, and it's a little bit more complicated. But we offer visa on the spot as you land at the airport. And that's really your cheapest route to go, or your most efficient and effective. But some people don't feel comfortable doing that, and they like to use a visa service before they go, but know that there are additional fees for that.
Hey, great. And if anybody, again, if you have a quick question, another minute or so, feel free, please, to type something in the chat box. And you had chatted about pre and post on a couple of itineraries. Is that just on certain itineraries, or can that be expanded pretty much to any cruise or any train travel as well?
Any train travel. We have pre and post programs. If you buy the pre and post program with Uniworld, your transfers are always included to the hotel, and then from the hotel to the ship. And we have wonderful programs. We always use 4.5 to 5-star hotels, so you know the accommodations will be lovely. You know what I didn't mention,
I know that some of your hotels are lovely. I know that some of your hotels are lovely because I've actually spent a couple of nights in some of your hotels, the Red Carnations, and they are beautiful. The service is impeccable, and I can only imagine that someday when I finally get on a Uniworld cruise myself, that I will get the same level of service that I did in those two hotels that I stayed at.
You got it, Jim.
Well, I don't see anything else in the chat.
That is absolutely right. You got it. We do offer impeccable service, and Red Carnation Hotels is where it all started over 100 years ago.
Okay, well, I don't see anything else in the chat. So quickly, people, if you have any questions, otherwise we're going to sign off and let Matthew go and thank him again for such a wonderful presentation. And if you have any further questions that maybe you don't think of tonight, please reach out to us at Travel Wizards and we will ask Matthew and get those answers for you. Matthew, again, thank you very much. And we hope to see you soon again with maybe one of your other products in April or May.
Sounds great, Jim. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good evening.
You take care, and for everybody, we will see you next week on Wizards World, 4:30 Wednesday, same time, same place. See you then. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.